Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bourbon Basement. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve.
Well, you gonna laugh that I'm fumbling over my words already?
No, I'm laughing about the way we start our shows.
What's wrong with that? It is 6 o'clock.
You're the
It is 6 o'clock on the dot. Welcome back to the Bourbon Basement, guys. I'm finally back. Hopefully, you all didn't miss me too much last week, and hopefully everything went over as smoothly as possible. Had to walk him through how to make the title and everything, so hopefully everything was good there.
you didn't watch the show, did you?
No, I didn't.
It started with technical difficulties.
Well, what's new? It's the Bourbon Basement, guys. Like that literally shouldn't even be a question anymore as to whether or not there was going to be technical difficulties. But we are going to work through them like we always do.
Yes.
Well, you breaking it in?
Stretching it
All
out.
right. So what's today's show going to be over?
T.
Elmer T. I'm kind of excited for this one. I've only had this one once, and it wasn't here in the Bourbon Basement. It was actually at what's the name of that? What's the name of that bar?
Crows.
No, it's downtown Lexington. I'm sure you all have heard of it.
Does it go downstairs? You go down into the basement?
No, Bell's. I had it at Bell's. They have quite the bourbon selection. If you all find yourself in downtown Lexington and don't mind dealing with the college crowd, they do have a very good selection in the bottom bar of Bell's. That's why
the Bourbon Basement.
nothing like the Bourbon Basement, but it is quite the selection. And if you want to try some bottles, they probably have the bottle that you're looking for there. Just a shout out to Bell's in downtown Lexington, not sponsored, but we would love to be sponsored. I know y'all got a bottle of Double Eagle Very Rare there,
Or Coca-Cola.
or Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola will take a
We'll
sponsor.
take that sponsorship.
But we're going to be doing Elmer T. Lee today, so go ahead and
Elmer T. Lee.
tell them a bit about it.
So why do you think I have these other ones up here?
I'd imagine they're in the same family.
How did you know?
I mean, just put the clues
So
together.
Elmer T. Lee is made with it's made by Buffalo Trace with mash bill number 2. These are the other mash bill number 2 products. So you got Ancient Age, made with mash bill number 2. You got the Hancock's President's Reserve by Rock Hill Farms.
Yes.
No, we're not paused
Okay.
anymore. I saw the
Oh,
Okay.
I saw
keep
the
on
notification. I don't know what that was.
going. Okay, go on.
so did you see Rock Hill Farms?
This is an actual rock on our show here, ladies and gentlemen, from
So
Rock Hill Farms.
Anybody out there that, gifts, I haven't got a Rock Hill Farms bottle. I can't afford them, and I can't find them at MSRP. So Rock Hill Farms. But we can. I know I made the counter all dirty. We can take these off and just focus on Elmer T. Lee.
We got gravel in the Bourbon Basement.
I thought that was cool, Rock Hill Farms, right? I was going to put it on a hill.
Could we not have
Make a
found
farm
a
thing.
smaller rock?
Well,
We got a ton
when
of
we
them in
do
the
the
driveway.
Bourbon Basement, we go big or we go home.
We got a ton of rocks literally right outside this window. Right, I'm looking at them. We got a whole driveway full of rocks that we could have just a little pebble. That's all it would have taken.
All right. So Elmer T. Lee, guys, we've done a show about Blanton's. Elmer T. Lee was the creator of Blanton's. So the history on Elmer T. Lee, I don't want to get too deep. If you want to see a deeper history, go to the Blanton's episode, watch a little bit, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. But I do want to give you a little bit about who the man was and why he has a bourbon. So Elmer T. Lee, he was a World War II veteran. All right. Once he got out of the war, he came back to Kentucky. He went to the University of Kentucky and got a degree in engineering. All right. So now he graduated from college, and like most college students, he goes out looking for a job, right? So
and ends up doing nothing that has to do with his degree.
Well, I'm sure. No, engineering some stuff. Maybe you do some bourbon engineering, liquid engineering. There's a lot of engineering that goes into it now. But he's looking for a job, and I'm sure while he was at college, if it's anything like it is today or back in my age, I'm sure he was familiar with the spirits and everything that went along with it.
Surely not.
So he's like, well, I think I'd like to work for this bourbon place. So he goes down to George T. Stagg Distillery, and he has an interview with Albert P. Blanton.
That's kind of funny. Went to the University of Kentucky, and I was just talking about the first time I tried this was downtown on campus at one of the campus bars.
There you
go. Oh,
maybe he went there too.
That wasn't planned. I doubt that Bell's was open then.
So anyway, he goes and he interviews with Albert P. Blanton. He's the main guy there at George T. Stagg Distillery, and he doesn't get hired. So how does all this possible?
Just goes to show you, a degree doesn't get you everywhere you want to go.
He's leaving the interview. All right. And he's walking out. I'm sure he's sad. I'm sure his head's held down. Now he's wondering, where am I going to go? Am I going to go down the road to another distillery? When he comes across Albert Blanton's protege, Orville Ship, and he starts talking, Orville Ship starts talking to him. They hit it off. He takes him around, gives him a tour of everything, and Orville Ship hires Elmer T. Lee. So
Best case scenario.
it was cool, right? So
Lucky me.
anyway, that was in 1949. So he gets hired at the George T. Stack Distillery. He works there. He goes up through the ranks, right? Eventually makes master distiller. So I'm guessing George T. or Albert Blanton was fine with him being hired in the long run, right?
Yes.
Now, by that time, it's already Buffalo Trace. He's made his master distillery. He's at Buffalo Trace. Of course, that's the time bourbon industry starts to tank. It tanks for them and their profits, but not for collectors. Because if I was collecting and old enough to collect bourbon back then, I mean, you had stuff like Pappy Van Winkle and George T. Stagg just sitting on shelves collecting dust. So anybody could go in and buy it for MSRP. And now look how much it is.
That'd be one of those things that got handed down through the generations. That'd be your family fortune nowadays if you were able to collect it back then.
Well, so the bourbon industry was tanking a little bit, and Buffalo Trace come to Elmer T. Lee and says, "Hey, we need something big. We need something special." So he thought about Albert Blanton's his I don't even know what you call it. But anyway, when he wanted a special barrel of bourbon, he would go to this ironclad warehouse called Warehouse H, and somewhere in the middle of those racks, he would taste these barrels and pick out one special barrel, and that's how what he celebrated with, what he had guests over with. And Elmer T. Lee remembered that, and he's like, "Why don't we do that?" So he created a bourbon the same way that Albert Blanton used to pick his barrels. He went to the ironclad warehouse. He tested the barrels. He tasted them. He liked them, pulled them out, started making a single barrel bourbon, which this was the revival of single barrel bourbons. There wasn't single barrel bourbons at the time. This is like the first bourbons that were introduced when they sold them by the barrels, right? So he come back, he started doing single barrel bourbons, and the industry started to swing and everything started to come back. It was kind of a revival of the whole industry.
Thank goodness. Happy Friday to you all as well. Appreciate you tuning in as always.
How long you been waiting to say that?
At least 2 minutes. That's all right, guys. Don't worry.
Sorry, guys. I get on a roll.
So he gets on a roll if he loses his train of thought.
So we're getting this going. So he brought it back. That was in 1984. That's when he released Blanton's for the first time, 1984. Then a year later, he retired, 1985. All right. So, but it was so quick. They loved him so much. He was so instrumental in the bourbon revolution that Buffalo Trace honored him with the namesake bourbon, Elmer T. Lee, a year later in 1986. That's when this started being released. And even though he retired, he still hung around until his death in 2013. And he would pick the barrels that would go in his single barrel bourbon all the way up to 2013. Or he helped pick. I'm sure he didn't pick every one of them, right? So another special thing about him is in 2001, somebody in Kentucky said, "Hey, let's have a Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame." And he was the inaugural, is that how you say it? Like one of the first ones in it. In 2001 is when they did it. 2001 was when he was did something. And a couple other big names that we know because we've done shows on them. Booker No. Go back and watch the Booker's episode.
I didn't watch that episode.
Sorry, Bill Samuels, the Maker's Mark episode. That was episode number 1 of the Bourbon Basement.
In first ones.
Inaugural, right? Inaugural. He was one
of the
help us out here. Inaugural inductee. So Booker, Bill Samuels, and Jimmy Russell. Go back and watch the Jimmy Russell 70th anniversary one. We talk about Jimmy a lot in that. That's the history of Elmer, a little bit, just a little bit. Go back and watch Blanton's if you want to see more.
You want the whole thing.
So now, let's talk about this bottle. This is a single barrel bourbon. This is 90 proof. And this is made in like he gets the barrels are picked from like the top tiers of the rick houses there at Buffalo Trace. So a lot of people say, well, what makes this different than Blanton's? Because Blanton's a single barrel. They're both made with the same recipe. Guess how many years this is aged? There's no age statement on this bottle, by the way.
8.
Okay. 9 to 14 years. So these barrels are 9 to 14 years old. No age statement, but 9 to 14. Single barrels.
So they okay. So
Blanton's single barrels are 6 to 8 years old. All right. Now, the biggest difference I can see in the thing is that this is aged in warehouse H. Every Blanton's bottle that you get, everything is from warehouse H because that's where Albert P. Blanton got his honey stash, I guess. All right. These are from other rick houses, not warehouse H. These are from other rick houses, and they're in the upper tiers of the rick houses.
so they get the most action in the rick houses anyway.
They get the most action on the top, but they're from different rick houses. So, and then the proofage is different. Of course, Blanton's is 93. This is 90. Uh, so there are some differences. Now, if you're wondering why I'm drinking Coke and not there's only one glass here and then one for our producer. It's because I am on call. I'm on call Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. But yesterday I was not on call. So I did my sampling yesterday because it was the first time I ever had it. And I've wrote down some stuff here that I'm going to talk about as far as my tastings and everything while you're doing your sampling.
See, and now I've actually switched careers, so I won't be on call anymore, at least for the next foreseeable future. But I may or may not have to go on Stormworks, which may be a few weeks at a time. So we'll just have to play that by ear as we come. But I am no longer having to worry about being on call, at least for the foreseeable future. So yay me!
Yay
'Cause
me.
on-call
Me.
does stink.
On call. Man, I tell you what.
It's got a good smell to it right off the
If
bat.
I wasn't on call, I'd be putting some of this away. I can tell you. It does have a good smell. So
Well, I could smell it as soon as you pop the cork on it. Like
yes, it was out there.
it literally just out of the. You could see it go like, it just filled the room.
All right. So the
Yeah, if you all haven't already poured yourself a drink, we do invite you to do that as always because that's what we're here for. We're being your drinking buddies here every Friday. Start your weekend off the right way here on the Bourbon Basement. He had to start his weekend a little early
I started it Thursday.
last night, but
I don't get any this weekend.
if you've got some Elmer T. Lee on the shelf, pull some down, taste it with us, or Blanton's, anything within the Buffalo Trace family would do just fine.
Buffalo Trace product, something like that. If you want to get kind of be on the same page, but we don't care what you drink.
Or if you want to go get a bottom shelf benchmark or something off the shelf, go get you a sip.
Yeah, because we don't care what you drink or how you drink it.
As long as you're drinking with us.
With us. But one special kind of note about him is
Alcoholics together.
he was one of those about not caring how you drink it because Elmer T. Lee is said to enjoy his bourbon with some lemon lime soda. So like a 7-Up or a Sprite. Or what's the one they got now?
Sorry.
Starry.
I think that replaced 7 Up.
I think so too.
I think Starry replaced 7 Up.
But at that time, he drank his with 7-Up or Sprite. That's how he liked his bourbon. So we don't care. This guy's in the Kentucky Hall of Fame. If he can drink it with some Sprite, so can you.
I mean, Booker Noel, he used to make his little Kentucky tea.
Love that stuff watered down.
I need to make that again because that was actually a fantastic drink. It was a little bit on the lighter side for me. I might do a little less.
We let it sit so long. We did a whole episode.
Yeah,
and
true.
I talked a lot about Booker.
But
that was a fun episode.
I mean, that might be up there with bourbon and Coke as far as taste goes.
This is a 90 proof. It is mash bill number 2. And for those of you all don't know, Buffalo Trace doesn't give their mash bills like the percentages of stuff. This is said to have between 10 and 15% rye, whereas mash bill number 1. So this is the higher of the rye recipes.
Well, I am acclimated. I've done my 2 sips.
You've done 2 sips. Well, we haven't even talked about the smell. So, do you want to go with the smell, or do you want me to talk about what I got yesterday?
Since I'm doing it live, I guess I'll go first. Okay. So smell right off the bat, it's extremely strong. Like not alcohol-y strong, it's just a very potent, good smell. You get honey right up front, and then you get a little bit of nuttiness. The spices do come through on the nose, but very subtly. You get oakiness. I actually get kind of like grapes.
Grapes.
I don't know
I
if
wonder
that
if it's good with grapes. Remember that when we were sitting out by the fire and I was eating grapes with my bourbon? I
grapes
thought
and
that was the
grapes and
greatest thing.
cheese. I thought that was a wine thing.
I know, but it was going good with some bourbon. Now the last bourbon I tried, I can't remember. I had some grapes with it, not so good. So it had to be the type of bourbon I was drinking that night. I
I
think it
think
was
it was.
Calumet Farm.
I think it was Booker's
Well, Booker's is pretty incredible. All right.
because I remember you saying it was
So
like
you said honey.
honey.
I got honey in my nose, but I got more of a. So I did get that sweet honey, but when I started smelling it a little bit more, it reminded me of honeycomb cereal. Have you ever had those?
Yeah, we used to get those all the time.
Well, I got that cereal smell. That kind of, I guess that's where that rye comes in. So I had honeycomb cereal.
Is that a good or bad thing? Because those are artificially flavored.
Thought it was a good thing because it took me back to like my childhood with the honeycomb syrup.
We don't support
But
artificially flavored
here's
bourbons.
so I did get that mild charness with it. But here's the strange one that I got. Hubba Bubba chewing gum, the regular flavor. Smelt that in there. I know, isn't that
You
awful?
lost
Bubba?
you lost me. It could have at least been Big League Chew.
That's kind of on the same lines, though. They kind of have a lot of same smells.
Are
But I
they
got
even
Hubba
allowed
Bubba.
to sell that anymore?
Big League Chew?
Yeah. Is that even a thing? Because I mean, where they raised the smoking age and stuff to 21 now. I mean, are they even allowed to sell that bubble gum anymore? I know Mingy Brothers still has your little dick cans of Mingy Brothers, um, but I mean, I don't know if they're allowed to sell that anymore or not.
Do you want to try one with water, or are you going to?
I haven't had my third sip yet.
Okay. While you're taking your third sip, I'm going to tell you guys about some more Buffalo Trace products that we've actually tried. And what their score was. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I was thinking about all the, I don't know, the Buffalo Trace has a market for putting out bourbons, but not putting out enough of them. And that is a purposeful thing.
100%.
Yeah, that they do. Because,
That's good
if
business.
it's in demand, people want it, it makes it. But what it does is it drives up those secondary prices. And
So
what
they're
I
selling
had,
it for more than what they would expect, and then the secondary market is selling it for even more than that.
well, they're not. They're selling it for what they are supposed to get, and then they recommend it to be sold for something else. This particular bottle, I think I got for $79.99 Liquor Barn, and I believe that is MSRP.
It's pretty
I
close.
think $80 is MSRP for this. Maybe $74.99 to $79.99. I got this one for that at the Liquor Barn. I do have another bottle. I'm sure I got it for MSRP too because it came from Liquor Barn. It was the first bottle I got, and I had to get it in a basket. So I overpaid for the basket, I'm sure.
Well, that being said, Bales, I think, has these for $18 a pour, I think.
So that's not bad. That's not bad. But on the secondary market, I see these bottles go anywhere from 175 to 250.
You got any water in that thing?
Yeah.
No, I was talking about the dropper.
No,
Just give me the
Oh,
dropper.
here.
what's the taste without it first?
Yeah, do
I
your
will. I
tasting
was
without
letting
it.
him finish.
Oh. So some of the products that we tried, and I was wondering if the hype and the want for these bottles is worth it. So then I got to looking at all Buffalo Trace products we tried. We did a show on E.H. Taylor, another good show. You ought to go try it. We averaged that out to an 8. All right. We did a show on Eagle Rare, my favorite episode ever. If
It's
you
just
go to
because of
find that,
the intro. It's awesome.
my favorite episode ever. Eagle Rare, we averaged out in. We did an episode on Blanton's. So Elmer T. Lee's product, his flagship, is the creator. Blanton's, we averaged out an 8. We did Blanton's Gold, another great one. That one is called We Strunk Gold. Because somebody can't spell.
I'm not changing it. I refuse. I'm not changing it.
We Strunk Gold. And with that, an averaged an 8.5.
So needless to say, the Bourbon Basement loves Buffalo Trace products, and not biased opinions either. These are just full blown.
That was an
good
8.5.
bourbons.
Then we had a special guest, and we tried the Van Winkle 12. All right. He was co-owner of the bottle, and we averaged that out to an 8.4. So
Yeah, but did mine count toward that? Because I think I put it as a 10.
you gave it infinity. I didn't like what you said about it, so I just scratched yours for
I figured.
it. I scratched it.
Checks out.
Yeah. So anyway, the not a bad product. Nothing has been bad. Everything's got an 8 or above. We've had some over there on our 9 and above shelf that are more, but not many that's better than that, right?
No.
Now, if you can get them for MSRP, if you get any Buffalo Trace product for MSRP, I say get it. But that's where I want to go with this. This is an $80 bottle. Is it worth 250 secondary? Is it worth 175?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I was getting on my just non-water sip. I haven't taken my water
All
sip
right,
yet.
tell us what you got.
So honey came through very powerful. It was like almost like a honey pineapple kind of thing going on. It was really strange because I didn't get anything fruit as far as like a subtleness of a grape in the nose, but pineapple came through on my palate. And then I got a slight bit of oakiness. The oakiness is not, I mean, absurdly powerful, but it's there. You can obviously taste it.
It's not as sweet.
That's why I kind of agree with you. It's more like a toasted rather than an oakiness, you know. Just a light oaky flavor in there. And then I got some like peppery spice, like just on the very back of the palate, like on the way down. But then once that's gone, once the pepperiness is gone, once you swallow it, it's back to the honey stuff. And then on the secondary, I got the bready kind of cakey kind of stuff, and then the subtle sweetness that goes along with it. But I think everything this one comes in layers, guys. I mean, you start sweet, you go oaky, you go spicy, and then you go back sweet again.
But it isn't as sweet as it smells.
Not as sweet as it smells, our producer says.
I disagree. I think it's
Uh,
just as sweet as
so
it's
when I
sweet.
did my tasting yesterday, and it was the first time I'd ever tasted Elmer T. Lee, the first thing I got was vanilla. And the vanilla stood out to me more than almost anything. Then I started getting a little bit of honey and caramel notes, and a little bit of oak, just a slight bit of oak, kind of rounded it out. I got a sweet, fruity flavor that I couldn't hardly describe. And as I drank it more and more,
Was it pineapple?
no, it wasn't pineapple. Um, but like if we had done a thing tonight, I would have said a sweet, fruity flavor that I can't describe. But as I drank it more and in the night went longer, it was blackberry. So I got a little bit of a blackberry fruit with this one.
How many glasses did it take for you to get that
I
blackberry?
think I just had 2 drinks.
Oh, okay, well,
I mean, look, the bottle's not.
you can say about the eighth glass in, he finally was like, you know what? It's blackberry. I'm confident.
I get a dryness. You get a dryness?
I don't get no dry.
I didn't think it was very dry either. Our producer thinks it was dry.
It's a dry.
But that's what I got.
All right, let me try this with water. Did you try it with water?
I did not try it with water.
I mean, it smells just about the same. I get a little bit of butterscotch, which I didn't get before. Just a little bit of butterscotch on the high end, but mm, it smells almost the
down
same.
the alcohol-y smell, like that initial.
I didn't think it had a whole
smell.
lot to begin with. But I mean, I smell everything the same, other than I get a little bit of hint of butterscotch now. I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to be talking while he's drinking. So Elmer T. Lee, guys, it's a beautiful bottle. I like the little gold writing and the gold foil. It's a 90 proof, 45% alcohol.
Is that really his signature?
Single barrel. That is probably his signature that comes across this bottle. It's got some little handhold marks right here. Elmer T. Lee produced some of the finest bourbon ever bottled, and this single barrel bourbon is a tribute to him.
Start talking.
All right. I think it drinks a little hotter with the water.
Okay,
I think,
I can see that because a lot of times it does for me too.
and that's very odd for me because normally, I mean, obviously watering it down, you would think it would deproof it a little bit, but I think it drinks just a slight bit hotter. I think it might be on the same spectrum as Blanton's in that case. Like as far as the 93 proof, you get that little bit of extra oomph in there. Butterscotch is completely gone on the palate. I smelled it, but don't taste it. I still get honey. I maybe get a little bit of vanilla that you were talking about, but it's more of a cakiness vanilla, like not vanilla ice cream, but a pastry, vanilla pastry of some sort.
Pancake.
Because it's a little bit more on the mild side.
Like pancake.
Pound cake.
Yeah.
Pound cake, I think even pound cake may be too vanilla for this.
Oh.
I'm talking about, I don't even know. It's light vanilla, but it's a pastry vanilla. You know what I mean, right? Okay. The fruitiness is gone. I get no fruitiness with the water. The pineapple that I pulled out of left field on the first sip was completely gone. Uh, Cooking spices are actually completely gone too. Um, I don't
Mm.
I don't know exactly what I got with the water other than
It doesn't
cakiness.
sound like it's any better though, so probably neat.
I mean, I would probably drink this one neat, but I don't think it was bad. It's just it was very difficult for me to pull out. I guess I was pulling, not trying to pull out more flavors, but trying to see which flavors are no longer there from the first sip, rather than trying to pull out new flavors. So
Yeah.
that might have been my mistake, but it drinks very different from neat. It really does. It's still on the sweet side. I wouldn't say that this is a savory bourbon at all.
I don't think so either. I don't think savory. And then
I think this is one of those
the
desserty ones.
the
Mm.
and I know you don't like to do this,
I ain't
but
doing it.
with this is a and then we're not going to compare them side by side yet, maybe another episode. But
No.
this one here is a single barrel from the same mash bill as this one here, single barrel, and this one here, single barrel. This is pretty much 89 proof, 88.9, 90, 90, and 93. And you would think that they would be very similar in taste. Now, we've never tried this one, but this one and this one, to me, taste nothing alike. And the only
It's
difference is,
amazing what warehouses do.
well, I like an older bourbon, 9 to 14 years old, 6 to 8 years old. So the only difference I can see is that warehouse H, that ironclad warehouse. This one here, it's they're just totally different.
I mean, it's even darker.
Yeah, they're
Blanton's
totally
is
different.
darker than
This is older. This is darker.
well, we don't know. This could only be 1 year older than this.
Yeah, it could be 9 year, and this could be, and they are single barrel, so every single barrel is going to be a little bit different.
I will
But
say, I do not think this is a 14 year.
but you have professional tasters, so every single barrel that comes in there, they want them to taste very similar, where the average person couldn't tell them apart, right? So, but every single barrel is going to be different. So, just that I'm real interested in trying this one too now because
I've never had it,
I've never had it either.
and
But
I've only had this the one time.
I didn't even realize it was the same mash bill until we started to do this episode. So, all right, do you want to put the grade on it? Tell us what you think.
All right, beginner friendly. Proofage wise, yes. Price wise, probably not unless you can get it for MSRP, and I don't think a beginner's going to be spending $80 on a bottle. Now, if you're wanting to step up, I think this is a great place to start if you can get it at MSRP. Would I pay $250 for that bottle? I mean, if you were just really hurting for it and really wanted to try it, and that's the only price that you could get it at, I would not do it more than once. If you were going to do it at all, but I would not recommend paying the secondary price for that. If you'll find it at MSRP one way or another, just
Eventually,
be
right?
patient for it. Be patient for it, and you'll eventually get it. But I do think that it is worth the $80. I do think that I would spend $80 on that bottle just about any time that I wanted it. Um, Taste wise, I thought it was very desserty, very good, very enjoyable to drink. I think it could be good with a cigar. I think it could be good with your dinner. I think it could be good after your dinner if you're just wanting to lay down on the couch and just sip away on a very enjoyable sipper. Uh, but overall, the color is a little bit light for me, and I think that's kind of odd considering how much it is aged. It is a little bit on the lighter side, but it's a good color. It's still a nice amber color. The bottle's pretty simple, but it's nice looking, and it does, like he said, have these little holders on the side, so it makes it a little more convenient. Don't have to worry about it slipping out of your hands when you're pouring. Overall, I'd give it a seven even,
A
a
7,
seven even.
and that's where I was going with this. So,
Oh,
hold on, I've got to take this. Hello, hey man, good. Yep. I'll get moving on it. All right, man. Thank you. Bye-bye. And the show must come to an end.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw a live call out for old Pop over here.
All right, so I'll finish real quick.
Quickly, we were wrapping it up.
And then I got to split.
If you all wondered why we were going a little bit faster this episode, it was to prevent him maybe getting a call during the show, but it happened anyway. So,
all right, so $80. I think the MSRP on this is right. I think if you can find it for $80, find it all day. If somebody wanted $100 for it, I don't think I'd pay for it. Not tasting other $70 to $80 bourbons, because you gave this a 7. This is our first Buffalo Trace product that we had that wasn't an 8 or higher.
but still, I mean, good, very good bourbon.
Very, very. It is a good bourbon, and you took the words out of my mouth with the sweetness, desserty. Like I said, I had 2 glasses. I enjoyed them both. The first one, I was kind of really just.
Do you have an opinion on that, producer? Because she's really just
Mine's totally
completely
different.
opposite.
What do you got?
Mine was dry, and when I first took the sip, I got, those pretzels that have the pepper in them?
Dry with peppery pretzels.
That's the pepper that they put in it.
Yeah.
That's the taste I got. And then it got a little sweeter as it went on.
And she got sweet.
But
So, producer's taste buds are out of this world, I guess, because she's not tasting
Would
anything.
you rate it?
like a 6.8.
And you and me, is that the second time that we've had the same rating? Because I was going with the 6.8. So this one averaged out. It's going to be a 6.9 for us.
Headed out the Hill Road.
Hey, I am. Did y'all hear that?
I didn't hear what he said.
I bet he looked at the outer thing. And he looked at the outer.
Cheating, Gene Boy.
Oh man. All right. Yep. I'm going that way. So yes, get it for 80. Don't buy it for 100. Get you a Blanton's for 75, because we evidently, you don't have to compare. I can go by your grade. We liked Blanton's better than Elmer T. Lee. So he created a
Your
bourbon
taste
that's
buds
better
are
than
different
this.
every day. I'm just going to point that out.
They are. And
I could try
it does
Blanton's
depend
again
on-
tomorrow, and it could rank lower than this one. I don't know. Your taste buds are different every day.
I have done that. I have rated a bourbon in here, come back later and enjoyed it more. And Booker's was one of those.
I'm telling you.
Booker's was one of those that I rated at one thing, come back,
Don't listen to us.
and it's one of my favorite bourbons now.
Everybody has their own opinion.
But yes, so that I give it a 6.8, guys. At least a 6.
Okay. Wow.
I gotta go.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
Can you? Okay, let's go ahead.
Just wrap it up. Thank you all so much for giving us a little bit of time out of your Friday. Sorry that we had to speed through this episode a little more than normal. But the history, if you want the history behind the entire thing, go watch the Buffalo Trace episode. You'll get the in-depth history. Blanton's, we haven't done Buffalo Trace yet. Go watch the Blanton's episode. You get a little more in-depth history. We were trying to prevent him getting a call while on the show, but you can't prevent everything. And unfortunately, Dad's going to have to hit the road. I'd have to sign off here. But thank you all once again. We will see you all Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next stream. Don't know what we're doing. I'm sure it'll be something good. Hopefully, y'all went on to enjoy. And as always, guys, why drink alone?
When you can drink with us.
We'll see y'all next Friday.
Hey, how about a hug?
Yeah, you got to go to work.
Oh, look at my hair. Hug.
You got to go to work.
Thank you, Ryan.
See y'all.
Good night.